Today, we're diving into something super important. 10 must-have items you'll regret not having in the next power outage. Let's get right into it. We've all been there, right? 1 minute, you're binge-watching your favorite show, and the next, bam, darkness. That sinking feeling when the power's out and you have no idea for how long. It's more than just an inconvenience, it can quickly become a real challenge. Now I'm all about using science and engineering to solve problems. That feeling of helplessness when the lights go out, we can totally minimize that, replacing anxiety with confidence. It's about smart, practical preparation that empowers you to handle the situation calmly and effectively. The items we're going to talk about today aren't just random things I pulled out of a hat, they are carefully considered essentials, each chosen for its specific role in making a massive difference in your comfort, your safety, and your ability to stay informed when the grid goes down unexpectedly. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my top 10 essential items, piece by piece, explaining exactly why they're so critical. Think of this as your ultimate power outage survival checklist, curated to cover the most important bases. We'll cover why each item is crucial, what specific features to look for when you're getting them, and maybe even a few pro tips from yours truly. By the end of this, you'll be so well prepared you might almost look forward to the next power outage. Okay, maybe not. But you'll definitely be ready to handle it like a champ, armed with knowledge and the right gear. Let's do this. Alright, kicking off our list at number 1, and this might seem super obvious, but trust me, its importance cannot be overstated: flashlights and batteries. When the power suddenly vanishes, the very first thing you'll miss is light. It's fundamental to our sense of security and our ability to function effectively and safely within our own homes. Trying to navigate your familiar surroundings, even a space you know like the back of your hand, becomes an instant obstacle course in total darkness. You could easily trip over unseen objects, bump into furniture, and simple tasks like finding a glass of water become frustratingly difficult and potentially hazardous. So having a reliable source of light is absolutely paramount, the cornerstone of your power outage preparedness kit. Now, when we talk flashlights, I'm not just talking about that one old, dim, incandescent flashlight you think might be lurking in a junk drawer somewhere, possibly with corroded batteries. You need a strategy, a lighting plan. I strongly recommend having multiple light sources, strategically placed. Think about different types for different needs. Sturdy handheld LED flashlights, area lanterns, and headlamps. Seriously, hands-free lighting is a complete game changer during an outage. Of course, flashlights, no matter how advanced, are only as good as the batteries that power them. Stock up generously on the common sizes your flashlights and other devices use. Usually AA or AAA are the most common, but some larger, more powerful flashlights or lanterns might use C or D cells. Okay, moving on to item number 2 on our essential list, portable power banks are a lifeline in our hyper-connected world. When the power goes out, your smartphone can still be your crucial window to the world. But it all hinges on battery life. A good, fully charged power bank is invaluable. Look for high mAh ratings for more charging power. Higher capacity banks can keep devices powered longer. Alright, item number 3 on our list is something that might feel a bit old school to some, but in a serious power outage, it can be an absolute champion for reliable information, a battery-powered or hand-crank radio. Now I know what you're thinking. Mark, I have my smartphone. Why do I need a separate radio? Well, here's the thing. During widespread power outages, especially those caused by severe weather or other major incidents, cell phone networks can become overloaded and unreliable. Towers can lose power, or the sheer volume of people trying to make calls and access data can bring the system to a crawl or even down completely. Your fancy smartphone might suddenly find itself with no signal or data speeds so slow they're practically useless for getting timely updates. That's where a dedicated emergency radio really shines. These devices are designed to pick up AM/FM radio broadcasts, and many modern ones also include NOAA weatherband channels. Coming in at number 4 on our essentials list is something that's important to have in your home at all times, but it becomes even more critical during a power outage: a well-stocked first aid kit. When the lights are out, the risk of minor accidents can unfortunately increase. You might be navigating in low light, even with flashlights, leading to trips, falls, or bumping into things. You might be using tools or cooking with alternative methods that you're less familiar with. And of course, everyday minor injuries and illnesses don't just magically stop because the power is off. Being able to quickly and effectively treat minor cuts, scrapes, burns, or deal with a sudden headache or upset stomach can make a big difference to your comfort and can prevent smaller issues from becoming bigger problems. Alright, let's talk about item number 5, and this one is truly fundamental to survival, not just comfort bottled water. We often take clean, running water completely for granted. We turn on the tap and there it is. But when a power outage hits, especially a prolonged or widespread one, that reliable flow can be disrupted. Municipal water systems often rely on electric pumps to maintain water pressure and to treat the water. If those pumps lose power, your taps could slow to a trickle or stop altogether. Furthermore, if water treatment facilities lose power, there's a potential risk of contamination in the water supply, leading to boil water advisories even if some water is still flowing. This makes having your own safe supply absolutely critical. The standard recommendation, and it's a good one, is to have at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, stored and ready. This 1 gallon is intended to cover both drinking needs and basic sanitation or hygiene, like brushing teeth or minimal hand washing. So, for a family of 4, you'd want at least 4 gallons per day. Moving right along to item number 6, and it's another crucial one for keeping your energy levels up and maintaining a sense of normalcy. A good stock of non-perishable food. When the power goes out, your refrigerator and freezer stop working. Depending on how long the outage lasts, the food inside can spoil relatively quickly. A fridge will typically keep food safe for about 4 hours if unopened, and a full freezer can last about 48 hours, 24 if half full, if the door remains closed. Relying on that refrigerated food is a gamble, so having a dedicated stash of items that don't require refrigeration or cooking is absolutely essential for getting through an outage without going hungry or risking foodborne illness. So what kind of non-perishable foods should you stock up on? Think variety and ease of preparation. Canned goods are a classic choice. Canned meats like tuna, chicken, or salmon, canned fruits packed in juice or light syrup, canned vegetables, and canned soups or stews. Alright, let's dive into item number 7, and this is one that many people in our increasingly digital payment society might not immediately think about, but it's incredibly important: cash. Cold, hard cash. In a power outage, those convenient credit card readers and ATM machines that we rely on every single day become completely useless. They need electricity to function, and they need network connectivity to process transactions. When the power is down, many businesses, if they are able to open at all, may revert to cash-only operations simply because they have no other way to take payment. If you suddenly need to buy essential supplies like extra batteries, fuel, or medication during an outage and you only have plastic, you could find yourself in a real bind. Okay, we're on to item number 8. And this one is all about maintaining your personal comfort and safety. Especially if a power outage strikes during colder weather, warm blankets and sleeping bags. When the electricity goes out, your primary heating system, whether it's a furnace, electric baseboards, or a heat pump, will almost certainly stop working. Depending on the time of year, the insulation of your home, and the duration of the outage, the temperature inside your house can drop surprisingly quickly, leading to a very cold and uncomfortable environment. Being prepared to stay warm without relying on your central heating is absolutely key to weathering the outage safely and with a degree of comfort. The most straightforward solution is to have plenty of extra warm blankets on hand. Think thick fleece blankets, wool blankets, or heavy comforters. Now for item number 9, and this one comes with a very important safety caveat, but it can be useful for providing ambient light and even a tiny bit of warmth: matches, lighters, and candles. While flashlights and battery-powered lanterns are definitely your primary and safest go-to for illumination during a power outage, candles can offer a different kind of light, a softer, more widespread glow that can make a room feel a little less stark and a bit more comfortable. And of course, matches or lighters are essential for igniting those candles, or potentially for lighting a gas stove or a barbecue if you have one, and it's safe to use for cooking. When it comes to candles, opt for sturdy, unscented emergency candles or pillar candles that are less likely to tip over. Tea lights can also be useful if placed in appropriate, stable holders. Always, and I mean always, place candles on a flat, stable, non-flammable surface, well away from anything combustible like curtains, bedding, papers, or overhanging shelves. And finally, we've reached item number 10 on our list of power outage essentials, and it's a small, simple, yet potentially life-saving tool, an emergency whistle. This might seem like a minor item, especially compared to things like food, water, and light, but in certain situations, a good loud whistle can be incredibly valuable. Its primary purpose is for signaling for help or attracting attention if you find yourself in distress or need to alert others to your location or a dangerous situation. Shouting for help can be effective for a short while, but your voice can quickly become hoarse and tired, and it might not carry very far, especially over background noise or through walls. A whistle, on the other hand, produces a sharp, high-pitched sound that is designed to cut through other noises and travel a significant distance. It requires very little physical effort to use, meaning you can signal for much longer than you could by yelling. So there you have it, my top 10 essential items for the next power outage. Preparation is about control. When a power outage occurs, you're ready. Start building your kit gradually. The most important thing is to start. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Stay safe, be prepared, and weather any outage like a pro.